We're talking about MLMs.
All right, what's going on, guys? So in this week's episode, we're going to talk about MLMs. What are MLMs? Are they actually legitimate? Are they a giant scam? Are they even worth looking into? And can you actually, the big question here, can you actually make money by joining one of these things?
Hells to the no.
That was quick.
So MLM, short for multi-level marketing. So some popular MLMs that you might recognize. There's Herbalife. 5 Links.
Mary Kay.
Well, look, like, anything where it requires you to or somebody to get more people into their business, to grow their business, that's multi-level marketing.
All right, so this is what I think about MLMs, right? MLMs could be successful, right? And the reason why I say that is if the structure's like this, right? So if you have a product that you're selling, let's say you have a product you're selling for $20 or whatever, or let's say $50, you're selling a product, and you get a customer and they buy the product off you. Cool, $50, you're good to go. You have another, let's say you get somebody else in the business that's also selling the product. Cool, $50, get a commission, you're good to go. The problem that I have with this is that the product that these people are selling, you can't actually make money on. So you are actually behind. Not only are you paying a monthly fee to be part of this company, right? That if you don't pay the monthly fee, you can't get anything. Not only are you paying this monthly fee, but the stuff that you're selling is actually very, very, how to say this? You can't make any money on it. You make more money when you're recruiting people. That's the problem. When your number one source of income comes from you recruiting somebody, it's not a legitimate business.
Come on, bro. You just ripping off your friends.
Basically. So you can't make money off of pyramid schemes if you are the one to start it or if you're like one of the top 10 in it. But other than that,
I remember back in the day, 5 Links with the whole BMW shit. No, if you recruit more people, you make it to I think it was gold status, some shit.
I was in there
for like a month. Fucking Carlos put me on.
No, I was in there. But listen, and the reason why I joined is because they actually did have a service, right? So if I was providing a service to a customer, save them, help them save energy or whatever the case is, it actually worked. But the problem was that I wasn't getting much out of it unless I got somebody else in it. So the product itself, it worked for the customer, but it didn't work for the soldiers on the street getting people and getting services. So that right there leads me to believe it's a giant pyramid scheme.
Well, like, let's take a look at Herbalife. So,
Herbalife.
their business model is pretty sketchy. I was 10 years ago, I was buying some of their products and stuff.
Really?
Because I wanted to get fit and shit.
Was it any good?
Not really. It was meh. Like
come on.
It really wasn't all that. At least at the time. That was a decade ago. But their structure is there's two lines, right? There's one where you're just entering to get the product and you want to lose weight and stuff like that, and the other aspect is the business model. Now, the business model I have a problem with because there's certain restrictions that you wouldn't normally encounter when you actually create a real business. For instance, has anyone ever seen a store for Herbalife?
So yes, but this is the problem with that. The stores, they call them distribution centers, right? Where you can't have an Herbalife logo on them. You can't even have the windows showing any products in there.
What?
Yeah, you can't. They have a movie on this. It's called Betting on Zero. You should definitely watch it. It's on Netflix. I'll link the link down below. But this, so they're basically saying you cannot use our logo anywhere because we don't want to be associated with these type of distribution centers. So technically speaking, you could have a store just not under the business that you're working on. You can call it like nutrition something or fit whatever, but it just cannot be in Herbalife.
And how can you generate foot traffic to your store if no one knows what you're selling? Essentially, you're relying on word of mouth to get people into the store to actually produce some income just selling the product. I mean, any other business, you're flaunting what you're selling.
Yes.
But for this, it's kind of sketchy.
Not to mention that, you know, their startup cost is not cheap. I mean, the products that you have to buy, they are extremely expensive. Mind you, these things actually expire. So you have to buy them by the bulk. And if you can't get rid of them before they expire, now you're in a hole. So not only are you trying to make up for what you just spent, but there's no way you're gonna make money if you can't get rid of it.
Nah, yeah. The shelf life, I think you have, let's say worst case scenario, you have like 6 months to get rid of some of these products. And if you're not really on your hustle, like showing it off on all these other mediums, like Instagram, Facebook, all this other stuff, and you can't even show it like in a store, like it's gonna be hard as hell to move these products. You're basically like a crack dealer, but even worse because no one wants to buy it. It's like it's crazy.
It's like I'm selling all this, but you don't know what I'm selling.
I don't know too much about drug dealing, but even drug dealers get fronted the product most of the time. Just saying.
That's a very good point. That's a very good point.
They're like, hey, I got this stash. I got this.
And cocaine doesn't have a shelf life.
Yeah, we're just speculating here, by the way. We don't know.
Now, people are going to say, they're going to ask, why is Herbalife still around? Because they are a public traded company, so we all understand that. But the reason behind why they're still around is because there's a giant hedge fund that's actually pushing this stuff. But outside of that, their business model is flawed. I can't speak for the supplements because I don't know about that. But as far as the business model, it's flawed. And when you're making more when you're recruiting somebody than actually on the product, that's a problem right there.
Well, you know what? I won't say that their business model is flawed because I think their business model is working exactly how it's intended to. It is working absolutely how it's supposed to. I think it's sold on a flawed basis. Like what they're telling you isn't true.
That's very solid point. I mean, there's no reason to have so many effing meetings if your product is solid, but the meetings that they have is to recruit more people.
Yeah.
No, the issue is, I think I was seeing somebody was talking about this, and some of the people who work for Herbalife were like had stock tools of their shit because the more shit they got, I guess the more bonuses they got. So this lady had like a whole garage full of the shit that she hasn't sold that's about to expire, and she's just trying to recruit people and say, "Oh, it's working out," when it really wasn't.
Yeah, they're forced to lie at this point.
And unfortunately, I think they target the Hispanic community the most. I saw like, I know Jon Stewart and all those late night hosts are not like the best source of like information, but when I went digging, like I think it was who was the late night host that was talking about it? It's like
John Oliver.
Yeah.
Last week tonight.
And I did some digging. I'm like, yo, that's kind of true because like the most, like from my feeds, from like my experience, I see Herbalife all over like Spanish communities in terms of like, yo, listen, I started this business, Herbalife. I'm selling blah 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 blah. You should join my team. It's like
there's another one. Avon is Avon one of them too?
Yeah, Avon was one of them, and then they restructured it. In a way where they actually pay their employees, I think now.
Oh, yeah. That's all
now I will say this. I have seen, people that have used the Herbalife products, and I've seen a major difference. But again, you're also going to the gym and you're also eating healthy. There's really no way to know if the actual product from Herbalife is the one doing this thing. But I give credit, I guess, what credit is due, that this thing might work. But even if that's the case, are you really making money from the product, or are you making money from recruiting people?
But Jose said that he used it. And Jose's a bodybuilder just like you, and he said it was
Yeah, but this was 10 years ago. It was 10 years ago,
Like I wasn't really like, how do I put this? Because the product was just mediocre. It wasn't high quality protein.
Trash.
And it was really meant to lose weight and not gain muscle. So I wouldn't suggest that product for a man who's like trying to bulk up and get, really fit. I would suggest it to a woman who basically doesn't want any nutrients or substance in whatever they're consuming and they just want to lose weight. But at the same time, you could just eat grass and, get the same result.
And drink water. That's it. I'm sorry that we focus so much on Herbalife, but MLM as a whole, do they work? Besides the fact that you got to get there, you got to be one of the first ones to get into the actual company.
Probably not.
No,
Probably not.
I think they work if you're trying to lose weight. Yeah, maybe because I see so many of these Herbalife pushers and they're like, come on, let's do this. Let's lose a billion pounds in a week so we can win $100 certificate to Wendy's or whatever. and it's like, okay, that's great. But I think as a business, no, it's a big no. I'm going to have to pass on that. I'm sorry.
Now, the big question is, if somebody goes in our comments and basically says that Herbalife does work, are they able to show us any type of proof as far as payment? Because that's where everybody seems to back up. It's like, yeah, it works. I'm making money, but nobody wants to show the proof. It's probably because it doesn't work. So if anybody has an opposing view from this, I'll be more than happy to see the pay. You
really think the average person is going to post up their tax returns from 2019?
No, not tax returns. Not tax returns. I'm talking about just bonuses and compensation that has nothing to do with recruiting people. So I'm talking about just sales and products.
Oof, that's gonna be tough. That's gonna be tough.
So I don't know if the product is good or not.
Correct. Well, it could be. Yeah.
But these businesses are more pyramid schemes than anything. They may have a good product for the end user that's going to buy it, but whoever's selling is the one that's going to be sold out pretty much.
So, Jose, explain to the public, right? Because I know that one of the arguments that they're going to have is my 9 to 5 is pretty much like a pyramid scheme. What's the difference between this and MLMs?
So a regular job, right, is you getting, let's take McDonald's, for example. The business owner fronts all the costs. He has all the risks. He hires people and he pays them. It's not like a McDonald's employee sells you a burger and he makes 5 cents for every burger he sells. That's not how it works.
In a socialist country, might.
That is not a socialist. That's not even a socialist business model, bro.
I had to throw it in there.
Like for every French fry, I get like 1 cent. That's not how it works because no employee in McDonald's purchases any of these products. They're only there to help sell it. Not even help sell it. They're just there to just push it out. Yeah, just making it. So that's a business. There's a business owner. He has all the costs. He pays his employees, and he takes the hit if he didn't make enough money. Not his employees. He does. Correct. With MLMs, right? You get a couple of people, right? You can call them employees, but your employees have to they have to purchase their own product and they have to sell their own product
and pay a monthly fee.
So, quick question: do they get any benefits? I mean, like at all?
No, they're all W-2s. They're self-employed.
They get a BMW.
They are self-employed. They gotta file a 1099. And
yeah.
They have to pay for these monthly fees in order to get their points and things like that. So you can't even get paid unless you're paying that monthly fee.
Yeah,
that's one right there.
And these guys at the top, they're making money off their employees who are purchasing these products from them. So if I get 2 people under me,
here we go.
Whatever stock they purchase, that stock is coming from my holdings. So I'm getting that money that they just dump for their inventory. And then if they get 2 people under them,
that's a pyramid.
Then it comes back to me. It's like I got to sell it to my guy who sells it to their guy. And now it's like, is that really a business model? Like I've never heard of a fucking McDonald's employee buying 100 burgers so that way they can sell it at McDonald's. Like that.
But Jose, all I have to do is get 5 people. You get 5 people. He gets 5 people. He gets 5 people. We're good to go.
The issue is, and I think it's John Oliver. I think it's 30 times before you hit the whole population.
I think it was
something like that.
It was like 42 rows. If you just put 2 people under you and 2 under them, by the 42nd row, you have outnumbered the population.
Isn't that crazy? It's called math.
It's called exponential increase.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, I think the big problem with this and why it's lasted, because I know they've had to hit the 42th row a while ago. it speaks to people because they want quick results and they don't want the work. They think, hey, I'll get these 5 people under me, and then the money will just be rolling in, just like everything else.
The only thing I remember about this shit was back in the day was the Chinita in downtown. Remember that, Carlos? He's trying to get people to sign up for this shit.
Now,
they're all over the place, man. They're all over the place.
I think Herbalife, what's saving Herbalife is that they're saying, look, we have a product and we're selling it, so we're not a pyramid scheme.
Correct.
So that's the thread that's keeping Herbalife alive. If they didn't have a product, they're legit just a pyramid scheme.
That's a loophole, pretty much.
Sounds like a pyramid scheme with extra steps.
Well, someone's gonna get laid in college.
I understood that reference. Carlos didn't.
What?
I didn't catch that. Oh, Rick and Morty, yo. Classic.
This is the shit, right? You would think they would be regulated by now, but they're not. Why? Because they probably have a whole bunch of lobbying money out there just to keep the shit going.
Oh, yeah.
So the big question still remains: should you join an MLM company?
No, get a regular job, start your own business.
Yeah, start your own MLM if you want to. That's a smart move.
That is illegal. No, we are not condoning that. That's fucking illegal. That is illegal.
That's illegal?
Yeah, it is illegal.
It's illegal to start a pyramid scheme. But if you start a business with a product,
bro.
You can sell like filtered oxygen. Filtered oxygen. That's $1 million idea. I'm ready to sell out. Who wants to buy my $1 million filtered oxygen?
Now,
come on, man.
Some people confuse pyramid schemes with Ponzi schemes.
Yes.
And from my understanding and from what I can remember, a Ponzi scheme
no product
per se, but you're taking money from somebody, right, an investor, and you're basically keeping it and using it for your own lifestyle. And some of it you do like some sort of investing. Yeah. And then you get somebody else, you take their money, and then you pay off the first person that you borrowed money as like some sort of like payout. It's like, oh, here's the money that I was going to pay.
Bernie Madoff, man.
Yeah, Bernie Madoff. And then you just keep doing it over and over again. And you take some of that money, you use it for yourself. The other, you just pay off your investors and show like that you're actually making money. But it's just like in that business model, you have to continually get investors in order to pay off your previous investors.
Yeah, the minute you run out of investors to invest in your company, you're pretty much screwed.
Quick question, right? Do you guys believe that the government should be regulating that and helping the consumer, or if the consumer is dumb enough to fall for it, it's on them?
I'll go with the second part. The consumer's dumb enough. Let them fall.
Well, no. So because there needs to be laws to protect the consumer. I mean, that's what it is. Regardless of how stupid the consumer might be, if they are being tricked into a business model, that's incorrect. So the government should have something in place for that.
Yeah, but then
go ahead.
All right. For example, the consumers are stupid. I'm sorry, guys.
Okay.
What you guys are.
Okay.
All right. For example, whenever the government tries to regulate some shit or try to help some shit, they usually make it worse. For example, like student loans is the whole big shit right now. Where just because the government guarantees the student loans, colleges have fucking risen like 200%.
Yeah, but I don't see the connection between that and
I see a connection as an adult, you should know what the fuck you're signing. If you sign up for student loans, same shit. If you sign up for this business model, you should know what the hell you get into. If you can't sell a product, don't get into that business. If you're not a salesperson.
Student loans is a little bit different though, because I mean, you have multiple properties. You wouldn't want the government to protect that money. Like your money in the bank is regulated by the government.
If my property fails, I go bankrupt.
Right, but if someone robs the bank where your money is being held, do you not want protection for that? Because that's what the FDA does. I mean, that's what the regulation does, doesn't it? Or am I wrong on that?
It protects your money.
FTC does that.
Right, it protects your money.
It's not
You're being protected. Why not? The product is your money being held, and you're the consumer, though. You're a consumer for the bank.
The consumer's not affected by Herbalife. It's their independent contractor that's buying the products to resell. if they don't know what they're doing, if they're not a salesperson, they're the one that's getting screwed. They should do their research. It should be the government to go and research. Hey, if you buy these products and you can't sell it, that's your fault.
I think
you have to be the salesperson.
It
I don't know, man.
On how the business or how this pyramid scheme tries to present itself. I think the government should try to prevent deception in terms of like terminology and stuff. Like we can't deceive people and trick them into basically, a money pit. I feel like there should be some like regulation in that aspect.
You know what? I think this should be, because if their product is so good, they should have a buyback program. If they have a buyback, if they can't have a buyback program from their own products, then the product is shit.
Carlos, what happens on real estate? Let's say you buy a building. You buy a fucked up building and you have planned out to renovate all the units. Say it's a 6-family. Is it your fault? So let's say you're not able to renovate and then you go into bankruptcy. The government should bail you out because you didn't have calculated that you wasn't going to be able to renovate to rent the unit, which would be you're not able to just sell the product.
No, but if that's the case, then I mean we could make the same argument for the moratorium. It's not our fault this happening, but we're being affected by it. So
bankruptcy is the form of a bailout through the government, though.
Which does not apply to student loans, by the way, since you brought that up.
There's not. So
it does not, exactly.
That's why.
Don't go to school.
Don't go to fucking college.
I will link the video why college is a scam.
Right, but again, it just sounds like you're being a little biased that you want certain protections by the government, but not you. You're picking and choosing what you want the government to protect.
Correct.
I'm not being biased. I'm saying there's no real estate protection if I fail. Same shit if I start a business to sell a product. I had a restaurant. If I didn't sell my shit that I was selling at the restaurant, I would have gone bankrupt.
All right. Well, let me give you an example. Let me give you an example. Let's say you start an online business and it's hugely successful. You know what? Let's go with Herbalife, right? Let's say Herbalife had a third-party platform that handled all their payments, such as Stripe, right? And let's just say that you are successful. You're selling like crazy, like hotcakes. And all of a sudden, Stripe goes under. Your cash is gone. Don't you want to be protected?
You did everything right.
Right? You did everything right. By the book.
Different.
No, bro.
That's not different, bro. You keep saying that.
That's different than you having a garage full of Herbalife parts that you couldn't sell and you keep buying more because you're trying to get those points.
Yeah, but what we're trying to get to it is not your fault. The outcomes happen, but they happen. So you want to be protected. Just like the consumer has to be protected, so does the person you're selling it to.
Yeah,
right, because I mean, imagine.
Put in this consideration.
Because the thing is, you're not understanding is if there's no guarantee or any type of protection, it's going to be harder for people to want to invest and make those risks. If there's no type of guarantee, then
if you have a shitty product and you're trying to sell and you go bankrupt, it's because you have a shitty product.
Well, the problem is that we don't know that the product is shitty because, like I said, I have seen cases we can't. Even though we can't 100% prove that it was because of that, we can't also rule it out.
Independent contractors for Herbalife should know what the fuck they're getting into. That's all I'm saying. I'll end it there.
I would agree, but deception. You could be very knowledgeable and still be deceived.
Correct.
Wouldn't you say?
No, I can't.
What?
All day long.
What? Oh my god, bro.
Yeah, bro.
You know what? I'm gonna give you the perfect example. Imagine you're buying a piece of property and someone gives you.
I can be deceived.
Hold on, listen to what I'm saying. Imagine you buying a piece of property and all you're going based off is what the previous owner is giving you his records on. And let's say he lies on those records. Isn't that purposely done on purpose? To deceive you on that property to make it look more attractive? Shouldn't you be protected on that?
You won't.
Boom, drops the mic and walks away.
You won't. You won't be protected. It's not because the seller's breaking the law. It's not because the seller's breaking the law. It's not because the seller's breaking the law, because they can tell you everything that's wrong with the property. But they can say, oh, I didn't know that was wrong.
But
that's why it's different real estate compared to Herbalife. It's different.
Obviously, yeah.
I think
It
that
is.
analogy was really good. I mean, if
It was good, but it's different because in real estate, you do an inspection. You try to see where you get into. Herbalife, you're pretty much saying, hey, bro, here's this product. I'm buying it from this company at a discount to resell it to make a profit. Am I going to be able to sell it?
Is that not real estate? I'm buying this property to sell it to other people to make a profit, or to rent it to other people?
I'm a rental. I do rentals. So
It's
I
the
buy a
same shit.
property. No, it's not. I buy a property. I do an inspection. From the inspection, I can tell what's wrong with the property, or at least 90% what's wrong with the property. I know. Wait, I see this one. It's gonna cost me $5,000. How much money do I have to put in to make my rental income?
but that Herbalife can fuck you up.
It's not the same because with Herbalife, I'm buying this product. I have to resell the product. I have to be a salesperson. If you're not a salesperson, you won't be able to sell shit. There's a certain skill you have to be a salesperson. I'm a real estate sales agent, and I don't even use my license to bring people to buy properties because I'm not a salesperson. I don't have that skill. There's certain skill you have to be a salesperson.
I mean, I agree with you, but
I mean, we agree with you on that part. I don't know where you're going with this, bro.
You don't want to buy the real estate.
I don't know where you're going with this.
The thing is, you brought up these inspections, which is a way to stop deception. If I sell a house and structurally it's not sound, these inspections that are required by these institutions is to protect you from deception. Now, it's not 100% foolproof, which is why if the seller doesn't say that there's something structurally wrong with the home, and the inspector didn't pick up on that, regulators should be like, you know what? He sold you a fucked up piece of shit. The seller should be taken account of.
I mean, will a bank give you a loan without inspection? No, they wouldn't. They need that inspection. Why? Because that's their form of protection.
But the bank doesn't look at it. The bank doesn't care about the inspection.
No, they do. Because there's documentation that the seller signed. If he withholds anything that he knows is wrong, the bank can go after that seller.
Yes, but that's the issue. If he knows is wrong.
Yeah, I mean that's kind of what deception works, though. You're not deceiving someone if you don't know what's wrong, bro. You don't know what the definition of deception is, right?
Oh my god!
I think I could agree with I could speak on behalf of everybody. We were all shocked when you said that.
That's the whole point. I can say all day long, yo, I didn't know that structure was bad. Until I don't get inspected and having it writing, I can call negligence. I didn't know.
Carlos, you know what? All right, if you want to be a fraud, then you go ahead and be a fraud.
I'm not being a fraud. Me and you bought a property like that. Fuck the property. What we did? We told the car. We told the seller, hey, bro.
Hey. Let me put our business out there.
No, but that was part of negotiation. We brought the price down.
Yeah, but the thing is that but you're missing the point. We were aware of that.
Yeah, that's not deception.
That's not aware of that. That's incorrect.
It's not because the seller told us. They didn't know. It's because we did our due diligence. We didn't inspect.
Okay, what's your point?
The point is, if you're gonna start an MLM business,
but it's different if they didn't know. But if you know on purpose and you are selling the property like this on purpose and purposely deceiving the buyer, that's my point.
The only way you can prove that you're doing it on purpose.
I'm not saying you can't prove it. Oh my God, bro! I'm not saying you can't prove it. What I am saying that it's wrong to deceive someone, and it will be consumer protection against MLMs.
People do it all day long.
People steal, people kill all day long. Does that make it right?
Yeah, good point.
But
no, they
killing
don't.
It against the law.
What?
International law.
What?
Yeah, you reach it, bro.
Domino's, all right, let's put it like this. Subway has a franchise. You open up a franchise in the corner for Subway, they're around 90 grand. I open up my franchise. If I go bankrupt, is it Subway's fault as the franchisee?
You're missing the point, bro. You're missing the point. You can go bankrupt all day long.
You're doing a false equivocation also. Yes. Because you're not, okay, you opened up that Subway. Are you hiring employees or are you getting people in there to tell them, yo, you gotta buy these sandwiches and you gotta sell them, and you're buying those sandwiches from me, and it's not my fault if you can't sell that fucking foot long. Are you doing that? No.
But you can do that with an MLM if you, like you said you can open up a storefront with this company.
Yeah, but you can't advertise it. So what's the point, yo?
You can't advertise.
You're not going to be able to prove this.
So listen, the way that they open these distribution centers is basically a storefront, no name, blacked out windows. Tell me, how the hell is that fair to the person selling this stuff? Hey, you can sell my shit, you just can't advertise it. Right. What? You're setting them up to fail, bro.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you gotta understand, bro. People are stupid, yo, and they do need protections.
Yeah.
Yeah, bro.
Yeah, but how much protection do people need?
Oh my God.
No. It's a serious question.
I'm sorry.
It goes back to the student loan shit.
At the end of the day, I'm not saying people shouldn't take responsibility for what they're getting into. I'm 100% for that. Trust me. If you go bankrupt, you go bankrupt, and that's it. But I do. This is my problem. If a company is purposely, keyword there, purposely trying to deceive you, that would be illegal, and you should have protection as a consumer. It's that simple.
Yeah, it's like that whole Saudi Prince shit. It's like, yo, give me $500, I'll give you 3 times as much in 2 months.
Oh my God, don't get me started with that.
Yo, you don't think we should be telling grandmas, yo, stop sending this man money? I feel like we should.
You can make your money. Just don't look. There's an idiot, there's a fool, a dime a dozen out there. We know there's stupid people. We just don't want them to get taken advantage of, and we're just protecting them. You can make.
Just don't be a fraud, bro.
Yeah, just don't be a fraud.
Like that's.
Yeah, yo.
Well, you know what? I think that should wrap it up for this week's episode. You know, the guy down there, he wants to be a fraud. Don't do business with him. I should probably reevaluate my whole portfolio right now.
I don't want to have your portfolio.
Nah. All jokes aside, let us know what you think in the comments. You know, are you a part of the MLM currently? Do you think it works? If it does, we're more than happy to take a look at it and see if it actually does. But with that being said, man, it doesn't take long to like the video, subscribe to our channel. We're here every week. We're trying to get our channel up. There you go. I'm out.
Salsa dancer, I'm out.
Yo, I have a question. Did anybody record this shit?
Yeah.
Oh, all right.